Well, when we hired the inspector, I assumed he would inspect the home and take care of our best interests, and he didn't do that.
Against code, against code, against code. Very flammable. And this would have went up in no time.
I'm feeling infuriated, and it's just not suitable, and it's not okay.
Nice house. A few problems. Sean, Francesca, and their two beautiful daughters. We're looking for a home on a nice, quiet street with a growing family. They found their dream home right here. They even got a home inspector to verify that there were no major issues with the house. A few things a little sketchy within the report. What did he miss? I'm here to ask questions and get some answers for Sean and Francesca. I'm here to do a homes inspection.
We have been in the area for about 6 years. I'm gonna have some tea. And probably 3 of those years, we were looking for a house. We had a young daughter, and we were expecting our second child, so we really needed the space, and that was what really sped up the process.
We wanted the balcony, the porch. We liked the look of the house and the size of it as well. We liked the fact that this house had an upstairs laundry room, so with a young family, we didn't have to carry the laundry from upstairs to down and over again. And it was just the open concept of the house. It gave us all of the things that we wanted in a larger home.
When we found it, we jumped on it.
Our realtor recommended this home inspector. It was a home inspector she's been using for years. He seemed very nice, very knowledgeable.
On the morning of the inspection, the inspector started at about 9 in the morning, and I'd say he was done before 11. He checked the plugs, he checked, the obvious things, looked at the windows, didn't really open and close the windows or anything like that. He didn't really go like page by page through the inspection with me, just kind of, highlighted some notes. He said that nothing, would deter us from buying the home by any means. He said himself, go ahead, great house, so we felt confident.
The house itself is only about 7 years old, so that kind of put us at ease when we bought the house.
Francesca?
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sean.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Mike.
How much could really be wrong with a 7-year-old house?
How long you been living here?
8 months.
8 months. I'm gonna have to inspect that hammock on the second floor, there's no doubt, just to make sure it's working properly. I read the report, and I read it thoroughly simply because there was the word serviceable used so many times.
The electrical panel is serviceable. HVAC, furnace, serviceable. AC unit is serviceable.
218 times he used the word serviceable.
Like, it doesn't really specify on any kind of detail of what you actually want to have done to the home, or what might possibly be wrong, or what might need to be fixed. Once I moved into the home, there were things that jumped out at me, like live wires hanging in the basement. So I tacked it up myself so that my daughter couldn't get a hold of it when she was down there playing. And I was kind of dumbfounded that a professional wanted to notice these things.
You have a fake dormer on the roof. Not only is it leaking, so obviously there's condensation buildup on the inside, yes? So more than likely it's not breathing properly. The truth is, it serves no purpose. I'll have to look further into the condensation up there.
So there's so many little things that just started popping up. The faucet was leaking. There was no shutoffs underneath the sink, so I put shutoffs in there. We replaced the faucet in the kitchen. The stove didn't work, the microwave didn't work. I had to completely rebuild a shower from scratch when all he said was, there's a little bit of grout missing. Just replace the grout. And it just seemed like within the first week or so, it just kept getting worse and worse.
So he came in the garage, he took a look, and above the garage door, you can clearly see we have mold growth. You can see that clearly, even your tape is falling off. I have definitely one leak. We have another area that's been obviously touched. Then you have a stain sealer right there. You see that stain sealer? And we use this spray sealer normally on knots for pine. We'll seal it so that when you paint it, nothing bleeds through. But what we're seeing underneath it is mold. So here's one more spot that we're leaking, and I'm gonna assume that this is right underneath the wall of your house. So you have 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 spots. If we follow over, there is minor signs here, and then we start to see more here. We see mold right there. This is where the wall actually goes up the side of the house. So something's leaking good up there. And the inspector should have actually made notes about it Now you notice that that drywall was replaced at the wall. And that is definitely a replaced piece of drywall. Are you cold upstairs?
No, it's the...
Just in the front room, our eldest daughter's room's cold, but not near this area.
So this side.
Yeah, right up where the hammock is.
It's above the playroom, dining room is her room. The second bathroom actually starts back here.
Ah, maybe that's why that drywall was replaced. They had a leak. Let's check out that bathroom. Okay, since I'm here, I just want to see this front bathroom because we're over top of the garage, and you told me that it's not cold in here.
No.
Okay, did your home inspector do this?
No.
No.
Yeah, that was easy to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what that does for me is shows me what I can see through the floor. You don't have spray foam. I can't believe you're not freezing up here. I don't see any insulation. Zero. I see nothing. Got me really curious. And if I was the home inspector coming through the house, like, I see no insulation. You need to bring someone in to inspect this. That's when I'm going to say it. You need this looked at. Let's go look at the laundry room before I leave you. In the report, he said there is no exhaust fan in the laundry room.
Evidently there is.
You didn't put that in, right?
Oh.
It was...
Did this guy go through with really dark sunglasses by chance? It said no exhaust fan in the laundry room. You have an exhaust fan in the laundry room. If you're going to have it on the second floor, I've checked the codes in this area. You don't need to put a floor drain in the laundry room. But it's the number one spot that's going to leak is your laundry room. Number one. A heat register in the floor, that's the first spot this water's gonna run, and it's gonna pour downstairs like Niagara Falls. Think of how much it's gonna cost you when that floods.
Right.
Right. That's the only reason I wanted the basement. There's a drain in the floor. Right. So you want it here, I'm gonna work with you. Okay?
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll make it right, but I'll bring it back through and show you what I did find and what the hell I have to do to fix it.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm quite worried, actually, what Mike's gonna find, because, I mean, if we're finding the quite obvious things,
That's not a good sign.
once he starts opening up walls, it could be, you know, far worse than we could ever imagine.
Holy cow.
Even though the house is beautiful and it looked great and everything else, I didn't want to be here anymore because there's so many things that just kept coming up. It wears on you after a while when it's like one little thing after another, and especially when you ask somebody to look at these things to make sure that these things aren't going to happen. And they did.
This is a busy street. Neighbors across the way are building a deck. I'm noticing all kinds of work happening. All right. A couple of smart things, gloves, eyeglasses. Actually made too much of a mess of this, just, ooh. That's definitely been wet. So this is a replacement piece. We can see that it's not only molded on the bottom side, but it is on the opposite side. So this is a small amount of mold. This is the things that we need to be concerned about. That's not a good sign. I have surface mold right here. It's on this side. What's on the other side? What's on the top side where it's going to be more wet than it is here? It's allowed to dry here because that air dissipates the water. But where it stays wet is going to mold more. And that's why we see more mold on the back of the drywall than we do on this side. Ass backwards. So what they've done is they vapor buried this side of it. So remember, rule of thumb is I don't like vapor barrier, but it goes on the warm side. In this case, it's on the cold side. Not good. Will create even more condensation. We have upstairs from this, the bathroom. The register's approximately here. We had a bathtub right here. Is it wise to put a bathroom over top of the garage? Bathroom and laundry room further back? Yes and no. I mean, I say yes because if it ever floods, it floods into the garage and not anywhere else in the house. That's the bonus here that I kind of like. The no part is that if it gets freezing cold in here and freezing cold up there, what do you have in there? Plumbing. So it's gonna break. As I walk throughout this house, almost every single floor register I looked at was not in front of the window. Now, am I being too picky? I don't think so, because I know it's supposed to go here. The reason we do this is because the glass itself is only about an R1 if you're lucky. It's usually under that, when we have an R20 in the wall. So this is going to be a cold penetrating point. If we have the register in front of the window, it blows that hot air up in front of the window and it stops the condensating on the glass. But why the hell do it here? Sloppiness. Okay, so it's actually sucking something. It's not the best exhaust fan, but it is taking it out, and I like that. This bathroom's great. It's a nice size. It's in the perfect location in between the first floor and the basement. Really like that. Not too often I actually see the drain by the furnace. And I even have a drip line in the floor. So that drip line in the floor, you see that drip line right there? There's two of them. Where are you? I know you're there. That drip line in the floor is supposed to be for the furnace. That way it's not running on top and rusting out that grill. Look how rusty that is. And where is that? There it is right there. There it is. Now, had they have taken this, see this drip line here, and run that right into here, that would eliminate this. Minor, not intelligent. Ooh, boy, is that ever bad. Both of them, holy cow. I'm just taking a picture so I can put it in a report for the homeowners. Real simple. I have one round pipe, I have another round pipe. They're supposed to be touching. It's doing this. So you have major bleeding. If we see a lot of this throughout the house, we're gonna have quite the imbalance of putting air to where it's supposed to go, especially in the winter. That we're not having that warm air to an area that needs it, such as the kids' room. I'm just gonna place down my CFM reading. It gives me cubic feet per minute. What I love about this is not only does it read the temperature of the air, I'm also looking at airflow. So unfortunately, throughout the house, I've noticed that in the dining room downstairs, the kids' toy are covering a register. Both of them in the master bedroom, the curtains were covering the register. If you cover the registers, you're not gonna allow the airflow. It just blows into the curtain. It doesn't heat or cool the air than when you want it. Don't block off your registers in summer and winter, and don't block off your air return ever, because we need to pull that air to create a cycle of airflow. We have not bad insulation here. Roof vents look good. Everything else looks good. Looks like I have very sufficient airflow. I cannot see the exhaust from the dryer. I can see this exhaust that comes up and comes across the top of the insulation and goes out to the north wall, and it's been insulated, so all that's done properly. What I cannot see is where that dryer's run. So the homeowner told me that he could feel that dryer line goes in the wall behind here. Now, I thought it went up, but I'm seeing nothing in the attic. So that tells me it goes down, because he said he could feel hot air blowing through the wall where the plumbing goes into the wall. He could also feel the floor. So I'm exhausting into the ceiling of the garage with no exit. Another reason I'm gonna pull the ceiling. Nice house, few problems. So I'm having a lot of leakage. I also cannot find yet the exhaust line from the dryer out. We will be damn near gutting the garage. So let's, gloves, suits, ladders, you name it, we're gonna need it.
All right.
The house looks beautiful. It's got great curb appeal, but there's so many other little things that are wrong. And then Mike comes in and he starts pointing out so many more things. You know, you're laughing and you're kind of fighting back tears as he's telling you all these things.
So we're gonna move everything downstairs into the basement.
Yep.
And today, we're only gonna take down the walls that are tied into the house. We're gonna take down the ceiling.
Okay.
I'm looking for the mysterious exhaust line from the dryer upstairs that seems to go nowhere.
Yep.
I think we're gonna surprise the homeowners by taking apart and moving a bunch of things they own.
Yeah, they were a little nervous this morning, by the way.
They should be. We're just beginning.
We're about to operate. Do you guys want a hand with that? Okay, now you can take it out. Good job. Look at that, days to put up, seconds to take down, eh, guys?
Heads up. Oh, that's coming down way too easy.
Atta boys. That's mold.
Here's our bad insulation, right? And by code, our vapor barrier, which we see here, is on the warm side, so it's on the inside. If I have plumbing in here, by code, that vapor barrier must come around, same as the HVAC. That vapor barrier must come around with the insulation here, must come around and blanket that and keep the ductwork on the warm side. Same thing as the plumbing, because it can freeze. This is a cold zone. Very sloppy connection. Nobody gives a crap anymore because it's allowed to bleed 15% into the house. And that's what they say. Oh, it's okay, it's gonna bleed into the house. Well, where the hell's it bleeding? It's bleeding in the void. It's not actually getting into the house. But if we tape that off and seal it, it's gonna push the air that needs to go there. We're not even doing minimum code. We're doing sloppy. Unacceptable. The house is 7 years old. We have leaking everywhere. We're gonna have to do a comb from the outside. See where the water's coming in.
You can't really see much from here without getting on it, so. We have a lack of slope in the eaves trough. With the lack of slope, this eaves is filling up very fast. We're getting some spillover. We're getting leakage behind the eaves, on the face of the eaves. You can see a lot of water staining. This downpipe is then collecting that water, bringing it down onto this lower roof, where we can see a lot of premature wear in the shingles in this area. Really, this downpipe should be continued all the way down to the lower eave to minimize any wear here. We also have a leak below that could be this could be the source of that leak, is having all this concentrated waterfall onto the roof. You can see below the shingle we've got signs of dirt. This is where water is tracked into the shingle. You can see a bump in this area, some rusted nails. So, you know, we've got water entering this area. So not only premature wear, but potential leaks. So we've got some thin craft paper here. We'd like to see Typar or Tyvek, house type wrap. Doesn't seem to be any moisture getting to that area. Looks like most of the water staining here is coming up and over the eaves troughs. So it doesn't look like any water's getting behind the wall in this area.
Because the homeowners are talking about it being cold in, we'll call it their older daughter room. She's still a baby to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it has a lot to do with the ductwork. As I looked at the breaks that we had downstairs, I've looked at a huge amount of connections, looking at the garage.
From what I've seen all the way through the whole house, it needs more air on the second floor. So the whole system has to get balanced completely, especially this room, because you have 3 complete outside walls. We only have 1 register in this room, and that's probably why this is probably the warmest room and the coldest room in the summer and the winter. The biggest issue is trying to push the air where we actually need it.
Which would explain me taping ductwork and making
Yes.
sure we put it in the direction and change minimum code on this.
Yep.
Okay, this is becoming a house of missing vents. I asked you to check out the vent for the stove. What'd you find?
So I had this running, and I actually located it underneath the siding.
Where?
Straight ahead, right out this patio door.
Okay, turn her on. Look at that, see it. You know what the issue is here? I don't think they cut that open because it's near an open door. So if the door opens, the vent's on, and sucking it out, it's gonna bring it right back in again. Yeah. So out of sight, out of mind? Great, this is gonna be a wonderful fix. In a kitchen, I'd prefer not to do bulkheads, but since we have to do the exhaust fan run outside, we got a bulkhead.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here it comes.
Oh, geez, Mike, were these lines always like this?
Yes, what we have. You're gonna love this. How many times do we see this where they lower the ceiling, trying
Yeah.
to make that a warm zone? Air return, hot.
You gotta be joking. They're
So-
trying to circulate it within the void.
Absolutely, yes. Because if you're gonna blow hot air in, you know, how many times have I
Yeah.
talked about it all the time? Blowing a bottle,
Yeah.
you can't. They want to recycle it back. What's the problem with recycling it back? Well, there's a bunch of cracks, there's a bunch of holes, and we have the air return up above the ceiling. That's just gonna pull the off-gassing, which is the carbon monoxide from the cars, to the furnace, back into the house. And that's not good. Well, I'm gonna let the home inspector off on this. It's not like he can see through the walls, but I am gonna fix the heat runs on it and the air returns, insulate it properly, and make it warm and safe up there.
It's a lot of leaking, eh, man?
There's a lot of leaking. This is a brand new home. Do you believe this?
7 years old.
Like, it's so moist here that we can see it's rusting the beam. Yeah, it's completely rusted. Let's follow the puck. Look at this here. It's all wet, even in the beam here.
Like that there is a fresh leak to me.
Look at how black that insulation is. So that's air movement, right? Now let's follow across. What do we see here? Why do we have so much water coming right across? See this line that follows? If we look up at the plastic, we can see it's been so wet, it's actually almost misting, right? Look at the white on top of the plastic. If we come over to here, we can see through the plastic to the floor joists, right? Come back to here, we can't see through it. Why? Well, there's something missing in the equation here. I haven't found the exhaust to the dryer yet. What about lint? What color's lint?
Oh my God, you think that's where it's coming in?
I think the dryer vent is right in this floor here. I think it has been exhausting so much moisture. Imagine 7 years of moisture in this area. I can't even see through it because lint's on the plastic. And I'm actually just gonna wear my mask. It's not dangerous, just a crap load of lint. Now look at the blanket of lint. That's a whole lot of lint. So, where's the break? And there it is right there. So what we have is a disconnect. It's actually a break in the elbow. And what it means is every time that dryer is being used, it's just blowing everything down here and filling the whole area with moisture. So all the floor joists are getting wet. So this is not a real hazard for me to breathe in, but what the hazard is a fire hazard. Here's my big worry on the top side where all this lint is blowing in. We had a hot pot light. Look at the lint around the pot light. There's our igniter right there. Is that little tiny pot light right where all the lint is. Get it. So, do you think that's flammable? It sure is. Add that with the plastic and we got just a total ignition of this thing would light up like that. That's pretty sucky.
You can see why Mike wanted to check this. Oh my God. I'd say there's a bit of a leak in the pipe. Here it comes, Sheriff. Let's clean this so let's vacuum it all out, get it away from the electrical, and just do a really good cleanup on the whole thing, okay? Hey, Sheriff.
Voila. It's gutted. Let's look up for a second. See, that's your dryer line.
It's not even attached.
So all this time you've been here, this has been blowing so much for so long that all that hot, humid air, it created moisture. This was so saturated with lint. How much do you think lint is fireproof?
Very flammable.
Pretty flammable, pretty flammable. Very flammable.
Like that is just negligent.
You're just so lucky you didn't have a fire. You have no idea.
To think that there was that kind of a fire hazard in the house, I'm completely furious. I'm at a loss.
Something else that drives me insane and the builders are getting away with. They were tired of homeowners like you calling up and going, dude, it's freezing in the room above my garage. This is a cold zone. This is not a heated area. So that area they're trying to keep warm. They lower the ceiling, and then they blow in a heat line, and they put in an air return. So that would explain why your floor was warm, not to mention you had a dryer that was overheating the area. However, what's the problem about putting in a line exhausted from the furnace as well as sucking it back in again? What do you park in here?
Vehicles.
Cars.
And what will an air
Seal.
return do?
Oh my
Seal.
God.
It'll pull it back into the house. Any questions?
No.
No, just a little bit shocked. A lot shocked.
We're both paramedics. We know how dangerous CO is. Babies breathe a lot faster than adults. So if there's that CO in our house, I mean, they're breathing in twice as much as we are. It's probably worse than the fire because it's silent. You can't see it. You don't know what's going to happen.
So quick update, we are broken here from the exhaust, from the laundry room that's right here. Its actual run came through the wall, down through the floor, elbowed, brought over, continued out here, and then travels another 16 feet to the outside wall. Does anybody think there's an issue with that long of a run from the dryer?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. Why didn't they go right up through the roof?
No kidding.
Right up through the roof. Solves all problems. Right now, let's quickly set up. What I want to do is, because now I want to find out where this water's coming from. So go up on the roof, get your safety lines, everything you need. I want to get the water hose. Just put it in the downspout, let it go. You got to think of it driving rain. It rains, it rains, it rains. Finally, it's going to soak through. It's going to penetrate and drip, just like a leaky tub. You got to wait.
It's been 5 minutes yet, Holmes?
Keep going. Take your time, have patience. I have a funny feeling we're going to be doing a lot of water tests on this house.
Homer, it's got to be 5 minutes, bud.
Why, you getting tired?
I'm getting old up here. Weather. What weather? I am the weather.
Okay, where does water start? At the top.
Yeah.
Hit the top.
Do you see anything coming in yet?
No, when it comes in a large amount. We did all our water tests. I mean, we soaked the roof. Right now, I know it's not leaking from there. All right. I'm starting to think this has nothing to do with the siding and nothing to do with the shingles, because we watered the hell out of it. Let's do one last test. Let's open up a window on that one of the walls on the outside. So I want to see an exposed window. All right, just make sure we keep it clean.
Absolutely, man.
What I want to see is underneath the window more than anything, because this window here has all that flashing that I'm slightly concerned about. I'm feeling better now that we've done the water tests.
I don't see any air movement. I don't see any mold yet, which is a good sign.
I don't see anything. It's awesome. I'm happy. It's a shame we had to cut this open. As far as I'm concerned, this eliminates anything to do with the siding. It doesn't appear to be leaking.
Yeah, okay. Am I lifting all the weight? Putting a laundry room on the second floor is never, ever a good idea. But the homeowners really want it here. They have 2 kids. It's easier for them. Almost there.
I think I'm losing circulation in my fingers.
It feels like we just walked around the block with this thing.
It feels like it, doesn't it? Put it down.
What we're doing is we're just cleaning out this room. I know Martin and me have to take a look at whether or not we can actually run a drain in this. I know that Gary has to move that vent up into the wall if we're gonna do any kind of drain system here.
Oh, yeah, watch that noggin.
Okay. I want the room emptied so we can take a good look at it, because I know eventually I'm ripping up these tiles. This right here is where the laundry room is, okay? The door is there. Now we have the washer right there and the dryer right there.
The floor drain is going to be a 2-inch diameter. The vent's going to be 1.5 inches.
Right.
So it's just a matter of literally figuring out, trying to determine what would be the best, most convenient access to connect to the rest of the system. I'm roughing in my 2-inch floor drain right now for the laundry room that's going to be on the second floor. I got a stack that's in a pretty convenient location, so I'm branching off with my line, and I'm going to come around the corner here and then install my trap, as well as my trap seal primer, which is required for the floor drain. My last pieces for craftsmanship. What I've done is the trap obviously is in between the floor joists down below, and then the vent for that particular floor drain for that trap comes off, and then I have to bring it into this area, into this room, and then reconnect it to the vent stack. So everything is to code, everything will be working perfectly fine. It's good to go.
It was funny, when we took down this plastic, what I wanted to do was actually have the HVAC and the plumbers be able to get a better look in here and actually see what was going on. But lo and behold, it was actually for me too, because I was able to see that the toilet flange on the second floor washroom is actually leaking. So what I'm gonna have to do is actually block it so that Mark can screw that toilet back in, get it back down onto solid so the gas gets that waterproof seal around the inside of the toilet so that no more water leaks out and causes any more rot and not hitting the drywall, causing that to mold. Just so many issues in this one little area. Created the mold, created all kinds of issues that we are actually gonna fix. Perfect. Well, it's not plexi. So this dormer serves absolutely no purpose, and the homeowners aren't big fans of it anyway. I'm gonna need a Sawzall, guys. Mike does feel like at some point this will become a source of water leakage, so we might as well get rid of it. Mr. Holmes, I do see signs of water, and it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I love this place. It's starting to give me a headache.
Oh, yeah! You bully! Look what he just did!
Hey, make sure you do your laundry.
Well, it's a good day for this, bud. It's supposed to rain this afternoon, though, so I really want to get going on this. So let's take it off carefully. We'll start with the shingles, start ripping off the roof, take the sides down, the front face, the whole bit. Mike wants it down, so off with its head. Everyone away from the bottom, please. Okay, it's heavy, buddy. You got it, muscles? It's all that testosterone at your age. In order for us to finish the laundry room, we need to get that dryer vent run properly. Now, there was a break in the line, and it was allowing all kinds of moisture to escape, as well as dryer lids. Not only that, the run was way too long. We're gonna run it in through the attic, out through the side of the house, closest to the dryer. We're gonna make it right.
So basically right now what we're doing is we're putting some modified thin set down to the OSB. We're gonna lay down the Ditra on top of that, and then we're gonna start laying our tile. We're pretending that this is a shower pan. So what we've done is we put a knee wall up, not allowing the water to penetrate outside of the room to ruin the hardwood, the drywall underneath. So it's completely 100% waterproof. And for the water to escape, we have a drain here, so it'll never actually overflow. So the water's gonna contain itself inside this area and not leak out.
Right now, I got the guys getting ready to prep. We get the floors covered, we do up all the doors, make sure we do a good, clean job. The benefits of the wall-tight eco is that it gets into all the nooks and crannies and makes a complete seal. You put bats in, you always have little spots where air leakage does happen, and it occurs all the time. Insulating the garage itself. On the exterior walls, prevents any of the cold air from getting in, and the ceiling, it stops gases and cold air from getting into any areas. It makes a perfect seal and prevents all that from happening. With a case like this, what we're doing is leaving the vapor barrier on. The guys can spray foam on top of it. That way, in the future, if the homeowner has to change any of the drywall or replace it, has a hole or something like that, it can be done without losing the value of the insulation that's in behind it.
Funny enough, the builder did run a vent for the range. He ran it out to the wall, created a hole for it. Then someone came along, tie-part over it, and then they ran siding over it. It never vented outside, so we had to cap it. We re-ran it, put it into a bulkhead, ran it out the side of the house where it should be. You don't want it over a door. And what I want to do, really, is close off the hole to the outside. We don't want insects, mice, anything getting back in. So I want to put a piece of plywood, insulate it, vapor barrier it, close it off to the outside.
Well, we just removed the spiking ferrules because they often come loose with the expansion of the wood in the winter. We're replacing them with brackets and screws. We're also resloping the trough, so we'll have better slope to the downpipe here. We're gonna put on a bigger downpipe to allow more water to get down off the roof.
So you're gonna put a vent in for me today?
Vent and a little bit of shingling.
Yeah, because now that we've closed that area off, it's an actual attic now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna treat it as an attic. Getting a roof vent in there for exhausting any air,
Yeah.
just to vent it like a traditional attic space.
Absolutely.
These are very rusty nails that I'm pulling out, obviously showing that water's gotten to them. We're gonna extend this downpipe so the water actually flows down to the lower trough to get the all that extra concentrated water off this area.
You ready, boys? Let's knock the rest of this off. So we have everyone pitching in today. We've got mudding, we've got grouting going in. Everyone's tying up all the little loose ends, and it looks like we're gonna actually make it on time. It's really nice to be able to get the homeowners back to a nice, safe environment. It means we've done our job.
We basically tried to balance everything off, so everything should be pretty close. We've sealed up the duct in the basement, changed some heating runs, increased the airflow. We've tried to equal out the rest of the house. This one originally was too high, and throughout the rest of the house there was some low spots. So we've balanced the system out, bringing this one down to compensate for some of the rest of the rooms in the house that were low.
So I'm installing this last piece. This is a drain for the washing machine, the good thing about this actually is there's a clamp that I'm installing which will hold the washing machine hose very tightly, and it will prevent any accidental slip and potential flooding of the laundry room. So additional safety device that will actually protect the homeowner.
Well, when we hired the inspector, I assumed he would inspect the home and take care of our own best interests. And he didn't do that.
I'm really bent on the serviceable thing. 218 times he used the word serviceable.
It's relieving knowing that it's going to be done right. And you know Mike and his team are going to make it right, and they're going to fix things the way they're supposed to be fixed.
Hi.
Well, long time no see.
It's been a while.
Well, it has been for me. I think you're seeing him every day.
No,
we
we
didn't
peek.
peek at all.
It was hard. It was really hard living here and not peeking.
We're going to start outside simply because I want to tell you about a lot of things we did here. You can see there's no more dormer. It's gone, right?
The pimple got popped.
The pimple got popped. Well, the problem with it is that they didn't have it vented, right? So when you put that dormer on top, and it's just going to take the heat from the attic and bring it into there. That's why you had so much condensation in the window. Everything's now done, insulated properly, closed off.
I don't miss the dormer. I actually like the house without it.
Yeah.
It didn't really do much for it now that I think back. I
No.
like it without the dormer.
So we have bigger downspouts, while making sure that the downspout just doesn't drip onto the roof. It actually goes down to the eavesdrop, right? These are corners that are cut that end up being a problem for you.
When they first came in, they kind of had an idea of what the costs were going to be. I mean, there's no way we could have come up with that cost. We just bought the house.
We win the Mike Holmes lottery.
Yeah, actually, it feels like you're winning the lottery.
I don't mind the bulkheads. I don't mind them at all. I'm not a big fan in the kitchen, but you have tall uppers. And with tall uppers, it really works with the bulkhead, giving you the new lights that you wanted, right? One over the island, which is beautiful, and the pot light there. Why did we have to do it? Because they came up, you remember, right across the ceiling and did not exhaust it outside because they never would have been passed had an inspector come in. We're gonna drive it that way. It's exactly what we did.
It looks good. It looks like it was always there.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
That's, yes.
You did a great job.
I like that. I'm a happy camper. These guys did good work. Let's show you the garage.
Okay.
Come on in.
Can't believe your house didn't burn down. I'm glad it didn't. I really am.
Me too.
I'm glad it didn't. But these are the things, how does a fire start? Making sure that the two lights that we had, the pot lights in the wall here that are in your hanging area in the hallway, making sure that that cannot spark, making sure now that it's ducted out this way for your dryer and not going through the long path with a broken line. We're safe. We're not going to allow any carbons from the car, so any off-gassing from the cars are getting into your kids' rooms or into the, because we had too many spaces here that they could get in, not to mention the freezing cold. So I'm really happy with what we've done right now, making everything nice and warm, making sure that the gases don't get in your house, and it's fairly clean.
Well, the other problem was there was a leak here. It was the toilet. And actually the flange was loose, so it was continuously leaking for a long, long time. So Martin had to fix that as well.
The toilet leaking was kind of
That's
another
a
surprise today.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gross surprise, but it was a surprise nonetheless.
Surprise, I'm glad I didn't find.
Yeah.
Now we've seen it from underneath. Let's go show you the laundry room.
Oh.
The tile in the laundry room is beautiful. I mean, it almost shows up the rest of the house. I'm going to start pulling out tile in some of the spare bathrooms and maybe some of the rest of the house to try to match that tile with the rest of it.
All right, I'm going to explain this. One is to open up the wall to make sure we get all our ductwork run, our plumbing. If you notice now, we have a clamp from your discharge hose to the drainage, because that's a #1 spot besides your pipes breaking of it ejecting water back out. So you have a lint trap now, which now that's the area to clean. That's where we're gonna collect all our lint. That's what you clean, plus your dryer, right? So you're not gonna see it in an attic, you're not gonna see it in the floor, you're not gonna see it where it's not supposed to be. If you notice also, we have the register up into the wall. Where was it before?
Right over on the floor.
That's correct. And if it's in the floor, it's the first spot the water's gonna go to, right?
Nice and tight to this edge.
We make sure we do a watertight floor, so you have new tiles.
Awesome.
Nice tiles. Now, this watertight floor isn't just the floor, it actually curbs up into the wall. You want to make sure you have a washer and dryer up here. Damon wants to make sure that water, if it ever gets out, we do have a drain, but a flood is a flood. Doesn't get to the wood here, doesn't get to the walls downstairs. This is the room we want to make watertight for you. It should be downstairs in the basement. But I get the convenience of kids and having it here, and let me guess, you're probably doing washing almost every day?
Every single night. I'm gonna say the house has been serviced. It's no longer serviceable.
It's no longer serviceable. The house isn't serviceable.
Yeah.
Well, hello, what do we got, a party? Hi, sweetie, hi.
We got you a cake.
That's a cake?
Yeah. Everything's edible except for the lid.
Wow. I think I made a hole in your room under the window. We made a mess here. We built a new bulkhead right up here. See? Give me 5. Give me 5.